Okay, the next key in is called IntegerArray, and this is just a class. And I am having you, the very first task you have is to fully document this class. So as you can see, I put some pretty sketchy documentation in here. This kind of looks like some of the assignments you guys turn in. So um, this is what it feels like to look at a very poorly documented program or class. Part of the reason that I want you to document this is to get used to documenting, but the other part is that if you have to really look at like what this constructor is doing or what this method is doing, and you have to look at it critically enough to actually write the documentation for it, then I'm pretty sure you're going to understand what it does. So, and then the next task that you're going to have is to write a test class or a test program to test all of the methods and constructors in this class. Now, what I did was I started that out in this video, and I would suggest you start it out in a similar way. If you're having trouble getting started, here's one way that you could start it. So I named it InteGarray tester, and all it's going to have is a main section. And the first thing I'm going to do is instantiate integer arrays. Now, remember that I want to test both of the constructors, and there are two. When I look at that class, I see two arrays, or two constructors. One of them takes no parameters at all and basically does nothing except for allow somebody to set up an integer array. The other one takes an entire array and sets my private array to whatever array is sent in that parameter list. Probably a little more useful. So I'm going to have to test both of those in my tester program. And remember that new keyword. So if I want to do that, I'm going to type integer array, and then I have to give a name to it. So I'll call it my array1, and I'm going to say that's going to be a new integer array, and I'm not going to send it anything. So we can try that. And then I'm going to set up another one, only this time I'm going to actually send something over. And I have to send an array, so I better create an array. And I have to do that up here if I want to send it. So I have to look over here and notice it takes an array of integers. So I'm going to go over there, I'm going to create an array of integers, and I'll call it grades. And I can set that equal to a whole bunch of things or whatever. Can be however many I want. And now to test that constructor, I would just simply send grades over there. And one common way of testing is to just do it piecemeal. So see, I see my operation is complete here, so that worked fine. There was nothing wrong with the constructors, and it was able to see integer array. Then I want to take those arrays and I want to test out all of the different methods I've written. Now notice that I also wrote down here that I want you to write other methods. Sorry, I keep calling those functions. They are, function is another word for method. So I'm going to have you write one that searches, and write one that finds the max. And I think it would probably be beneficial to write a method that lets you fill an array or fill elements or something like that. But try to think of other things that people might want to do with an array. And certainly that's not a requirement. This is just something for you to think about, something for you to try, an extra challenge. All right, so I think I'm going to leave you with that and let you get started. I think that's probably more than enough information for now. And you can watch the next video when you're ready.